first up, what chance of the game being on? What have you been told?
You're asking the wrong person there. You probably need to speak to Matt or Rob, the ground staff. We're carrying on as normal, and we're prepping like you'd expect for the game to be on.
And how is prep being affected by the weather? Because presumably the training ground's pretty iced up at the moment as well.
Yeah, we thought we might be able to get on the grass this morning if we cleared the snow, but we're just working around it. So we were indoors yesterday. We've got a facility for today. It's difficult to get outside at the minute because even the local 4Gs are covered in snow and ice. But yeah, we'll make it work.
Yeah, footballers are generally pretty adaptable. How much can a change be just really good for just I suppose bit of testing, bit of team morale, whatever you want to do with it, but just mixing things up, I suppose.
Well, our lads aren't precious anyway, so I think that's our DNA as a club anyway. We have to adapt, and we have to make the best of what we've got. We've been, that is sort of what we're all about. So if the weather's a bit tricky, generally we just get on with it.
And how good was Tuesday as a performance in terms of, I suppose, getting back on the bike after Saturday? Because you'd been in good form, and then can you view Saturday as a blip yet?
I think you'll get the answer to that in a couple of weeks, won't you? When you can step back and look at the bigger picture, you'll be able to tell if it's a blip or not. But certainly in terms of, like I said to you after the game, I think that was our first one defeat in 6 or 1 in 7 now. Disappointment is I thought it was a typical derby, typical scrappy game. I've been involved in dozens of those where it is difficult for it to become a free-flowing game and teams to reach their heights. But when you do get a day like that, just see it out and don't get done off a set play. Worst case scenario, leave with a draw or nick it off a set play. So and then that puts a completely different slant on the whole afternoon. But that was the big takeaway. If you're not going to hit your heights, be dogged, be resilient, especially on something like a set play. Make sure you see out the game.
Is that an experience thing as much as anything? Just part of the learning that players have to go through?
Well, you hope they're getting better. You would hope they're getting better for every experience. So it'll be the first time a few of them have played in a derby. It'll be the first time. That sounds silly. It'll be the first time 1 or 2 of them have played in a game where they'd have been and ahhing if it was going to be on or off, or the conditions were a bit different to what they're used to. So they'll be better and more rounded for it, I would hope.
Looking at Lincoln this weekend, what do you make of their form? They haven't won for almost a month, so I'd imagine they'd be pretty determined to change that.
Well, they won on Tuesday. So
actually, yeah.
No, I think they've been good. You might think that's lip service, but genuinely not. They were good against Everton. They were good second half. They were very good second half against Everton. I thought they were good against. They were really good against Shrewsbury. They came out the wrong side of Shrewsbury, and they played well against Wycombe as well. So Mark a little bit. He's a really good coach. I think he's gone in there, had a look at what he's got, found a system and a way of playing that suits his personnel. They're really resilient, hard to break down. They've got good threat on the counter-attack, so they don't give up a lot of chances. So I think we're well aware of what their threats are, and it'll be a tough game.
And in terms of your selection, has Tuesday and some of the performances in there just sort of added to the options that you feel you're picking from this weekend?
Well, you want, like I said to you before, you want people to put themselves in the conversation, and it's been difficult to pick. It's been difficult at times to pick the 3 centre halves because whenever Rags has come in, he's been excellent, and you want that competition all over the pitch.
Yeah, and I mean, that competition. How much does that actually, do you visibly see that then driving people who have had the shirts to then keep those shirts when, people like Charlie Raglan and Charlie Brown as well, when they, come in and do a job for you? Do you see the response from those who've been starting in the league, do you feel?
I think the players I think they're self-motivated anyway. I don't know if they, I don't know if they need additional motivation or additional pushing, but it does help when you look at I think I said to him a couple of weeks ago to have a look at, it was getting difficult to pick a bench, let alone a team a few weeks ago. And we're hoping that fairly soon we'll have Will Ferry to add back into that, and TP, and then I think players do probably realise that they've got to maintain a level of performance, otherwise they're really good people chomping at the bit to come in.
And you mentioned the players sort of slowly on their way back there. Everyone else okay?
Yeah, no, everyone's fine. Everyone's got through midweek.
And a word on the last 8 draw of the trophy. You don't know who that'll be yet, but obviously a chance to scout them next Tuesday. And I suppose the important thing, you're at home.
Yeah, because it's obviously not regionalised anymore. So you could have ended up getting an Acura or Salford away, which would have been a long trip. But yeah, when is that? Second week of Jan, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of football between now and then until we start turning our attention to that. But it's exciting. It is exciting, and when it comes round, we'll look forward to it. But plenty of games to play before then.
Thanks, Wade. Good luck.
Cheers, Paul.
Wade, how's Ryan Jackson? Did he get injured during the warm-up at Forest Green?
Yeah, he came in about 20 minutes before kick-off. He just felt something in his groin, so we actually changed the bench about 15-20 minutes before the game, which obviously not ideal. But he's hoping Jacko trains today, so he's followed all his protocol. He's on his high-speed running, twisting and turning and ball striking and all the rest of it. So hopefully he'll get through training today and he'll be absolutely fine for tomorrow.
You've used Cleve, as you said, outdoor. You got the opportunity to use there. If that's frozen, snowed off, how hard is it to find somewhere where you can actually go inside and get out of the elements? Because obviously the club haven't got anywhere themselves.
No, we're going to go to Cirencester. So that's a little bit of a schlep, but like I said, it is difficult to get outdoors. The pitch is completely frozen. The staff were clearing it at 8:30 because we hoped the snow might insulate it and we'd be able to get a bit of grass to train on. We've been up to Bishop's Cleeve this morning just to double check whether we could get on there, but that's iced over. We've used Leisure at, but we want a different type of surface and a slightly different space to do different stuff. So we're going to utilise Cirencester. So there's always a way, isn't there?
Yeah. Harry's birthday. Did the cake taste a bit better after Tuesday's?
Yeah, it was all right. Pretty relaxed. Bit of mini golf. Got beat by a 7-year-old at mini golf.
Was that at the Jungle Rumble?
It was, yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, bit of mini golf, bit of food, bit of cake, and then World Cup semi-final. So, yeah, not a bad birthday.
Obviously, any recruitment questions you quite rightly
Starts Mickey,
deflect to Mickey. But I've got one to ask, just because it's getting closer now. Do you expect it to be quite a busy month, or do you, with players with Will Ferry and Taylor Perry hopefully back soon, and well covered in most areas, do you expect it to be a fairly quiet window by recent compared to recent window?
Yeah, I don't think we'll do loads. I don't think we need to do loads. There are a couple of different characteristics that we want to add to the squad. But yeah, we did a lot end up being quite a big summer. For one reason or another, there was a big churn in the summer. And like I said to you, we've done a lot of work with that group now that we feel we're starting to see the progress. But I think off the back of that work that was done in the summer and has been done up to this point, we don't need to do loads and loads and loads. It's just a little bit tweaking and add one or two different attributes to the squad.
How's the back after the snow shovelling? Is that recovered now?
No, not really. It's pretty sore. You don't realise how much it takes out of you, which probably got to reiterate how grateful we are to everybody who turned out at the stadium on Tuesday. Because until you're out there shoveling it yourself, you don't quite realise how it looks quite easy. You think you just get a shovel and lift the snow off, but there's a bit more to it. So no, we have to reiterate how grateful we are to everybody who pitched in Tuesday and helped us get it on, and hopefully it's got us through helped to get through to the next round.